What's going on? It's 43 OG here on a Tuesday night in Melbourne. It's the HEX Late Show. I'm hosting tonight. What's going on, guys? We've had a nice little pump in HEX. I think this is the most important thing to talk about right now. We have had a nice little pump. We're sitting just under 4 cents, which seems crazy to be saying that we've just had a pump and it's only 4 cents. But hey, I'll take it. At this point, I'm taking it. I'm taking whatever they're giving to us. I've got the guys out the back, so let me just bring them up. Jexa.
Hey, how are you, buddy? Going well?
Good, good. How are you?
Yeah, right. I feel like I've got a bit of pizza around my face. So it got delivered just as I was about to jump on, so I'll be stuffing pizza in.
I know the feeling, mate. I know the feeling. Sammy.
Hello, how you going?
Good,
Hey,
good.
Sammy, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right for a Tuesday. You know,
It's too early. It's too early in the week to be all right. Thursday, Friday, that's when we start feeling better about the week.
Yeah, but tomorrow's my Friday and I get off early, so I'm actually quite happy about it. I get 3-day weekend, but I work Sundays.
Right, nice, nice. And Tangent, back for round three.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know, but last night Tangent and I streamed on Discourse and then on the HEX Late Show channel after that as well. We did the bait and switch. We sort of lured people in and then we rug pulled. We just said, hey, we're out of here. Come see us on this other channel. And a few people came over. So that was good. We got a few subscribers.
So that was on the HEX Late Show. I haven't even been and checked out that other channel. So what's the deal with that?
It's
what's
just
you got to subscribe, man.
Now I've got to find it. So is it just the HEX Late Show channel? I'll go across there now. I'm going to find it.
If you search the HEX Late Show, it should come up.
Okay.
Even if
right now,
even if it's like if the channel doesn't come up, scroll through the videos in the search results. Most of them will be on DS, but you'll eventually see one that's on the HEX where the channel is the Late Show, and you just click on that link.
Cool. And the point of doing that is just so we're keeping a copy of all of our shows. So if anyone wants to go and see, what we've done, they can just find only our shows without having to trawl through all the other stuff that's on Discourse Syndicate. And also, we're going to be doing some streams that are only for the HEX Late Show channel. So like what we did yesterday.
Redundancy.
Yeah.
And exactly. Redundancy in case something happens to the other channel, which happens all the time on YouTube, that channels get taken down.
Oh, bro, did you guys hear about Adam Stokes' channel?
Yeah, I did. I saw his tweet.
No one's safe. If that guy's channel gets deleted, no one is safe. Because that
he's
guy
very conservative with how he speaks.
He's not afraid to talk about a range of topics, but he doesn't do it in a way that could be seen to be. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's not vulgar. He's not like us. Like we should have been kicked off way before that guy. Like seriously, let's be honest. But yeah, I hope they fix that.
Do you reckon it could have been spammers, like what happened to you, Tangent? Spammers in chat saying like really disgusting things.
Oh yeah, possible.
Yeah,
because
possible.
It's weird that you can get held responsible for the things that people say in chat. It's quite ridiculous.
I know, right?
Yeah, you got to have
especially Adam Stokes. He's so professional and so polite, well spoken, always on his game.
Is someone getting feedback? People are saying there's an echo effect.
It shouldn't be me because I'm wearing headphones.
Okay.
This pump's looking good. This pump's looking really good.
Can we have a look at the pump?
Sure.
By the way, I'll mute me for a second.
Check. Sound okay, guys?
In fact,
no, everyone's saying it's all good.
I might have to actually flex a little bit here. See this green channel here and this black line? I drew both of those on a stream several days ago before, at the start saying that we could range within this channel, and it has literally done exactly that. But people in the HEX community say that TA doesn't work, so I don't know what's going on with that. But it's like it's literally been ranging in this channel for over a week now.
Let's face it, if anyone's going to set a limit order, whether it's a sell order or a buy order, they're going to look at a chart and pick levels that would make sense to do it. And that's why the TA tends to work, is everyone's relying on the charts and picking levels to make decisions. So of course it plays out.
There's an aspect of self-fulfilling prophecy if enough people are believing TA. Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So this is the pump here. We're just under 4 cents. And so we've been on this nice uptrend since 4 p.m. my time, 18th of June. So it's been several days of consistent, steady uptrend. And now it looks like it's just charging.
Do you think that is off of the back of just the whole market moving, or a HEX specific thing?
Well, that's a 40% increase. The early stage of this, Bitcoin and ETH were actually going down. So so we were bucking the trend for at least a couple of days. Yep. I think when Richard Hart streams, it helps. I really do think that people just get excited about him streaming, you know?
There's been a couple of articles, or was there one on Bloomberg?
Yep.
Yeah, Bloomberg.
And that wasn't like that was pretty fairly written as well. It wasn't too sort of skewed either way. Obviously, they're very light and fluffy, those sorts of pieces where they have a few throwaway comments that they've gone and done a little bit of digging around and actually spoken to someone for those comments, or they've pulled them. Jesus, usually these days they just pull them from Twitter or Facebook or wherever they get them from these days. But there was a few little comments in there that you could take either way. But I think all in all it was pretty positive. But just getting in from an eyeballs perspective, definitely positive.
Oh, so yeah, absolutely.
I tweeted on Twitter. I tweeted out shortly, or like around the time that we were at 3 cents, saying who's got the balls to buy 3 cent HEX. And obviously quite a few people said, yeah, I'm buying 3 cent HEX for sure. And anyone who did is now up 33% in several days. And that's, 33, a third means if that buy-in was $3,000, you'd be up a full grand. So this has been quite good in percentage terms. Still got a lot of work to do.
Yep. And that's awesome. And HEX was trending on business and finance. Over 7,400 tweets. And it was trending in Australia as well. So, it's being looked at. And you can see by the chart, people looking at it in Bloomberg, And,
do you have a theory, Sammy, on why the HEX community was so much more active than average over this period?
Maybe it was Bloomberg pushing it. I mean, some of the heavy hitters were commenting, like that WSB,
Wall Street Bets.
Yeah, Wall Street Bets, like 22,000 followers. He tweeted out about buying HEX. So maybe after Bloomberg tweeted that out, some big guys had a look at it and
and maybe a combination of, because other financial instruments getting wrecked, maybe people are tweeting less about financial stuff in general. So maybe the HEX community, so it might have been a combination of us not necessarily tweeting more than average, but just maintaining while everything else was coming down.
Well, wasn't it in that article in Bloomberg, it says we got the most active community on Twitter and how devoted we were to HEX.
Someone has just put in chat about Richard being right about Celsius as well. So it's been a combination. There's a big wave of things. So what's his name? The Bitcoin guys at Mike. His last name, Mike Alfred, is it? Or
Mike Alfred. He was on Crypto Banter the other day.
Yeah, so there's in that context, like he's been trolling the community, but we all know the effect of that anyway. It's just more engagement, and that's
People
why,
go for engagement. Yeah,
yeah, that's right. So there's just been a whole slew of things where obviously Richard's been on an absolute rant, as he should be, for calling out all the CFI stuff and making sure that people know that he was saying that a year ago that you need to be pulling your stuff off exchanges and in particular with Celsius. So yeah, I think there's a lot of that flying around, and let's face it, all the hexagons went on an absolute rampage this morning to make sure that was trending and continued to trend.
Nice.
Hey, so Mike Alfred, he was on Crypto Banter with Randman and a couple of other dudes on the weekend, absolutely like talking shit about Richard and about Hex, and basically that's when Randman tweeted out, you should have a debate. That's why I actually watched it halfway through and saw it all. And that Mike Alfred had just had an interview with the Hex documentary crew and just started reeling off how crappy it was. And then I tweeted out and called him a pussy and said he should face with heart. And he liked my comment. He liked it. I called him a pussy. What a wuss.
Before we take the chart down, I'll just mention that we've got this downtrend here that is from the 7th of May, that it's a pretty, pretty well established downtrend with lots of contact points. And we're literally hard up against it right now. So let's hope we can get through it, turn it into support and start moving up.
What's actually really interesting is everything that is bound by the Hex liquidity. So Hedron, Maxi, even Pulse Doge, they've all got liquidity pools with Hex. Everything went up together. They all got pulled up, obviously to varying degrees, but they all got dragged up. So that's actually good for the whole ecosystem. And look, once we get through all this quagmire and come out the other side of whatever other fallout there is still to come from the broader crypto space, when Hex starts moving up, if that's the impact it has on all these other assets as well, it's going to be a pretty interesting journey. And that's
good point.
So it's not just these current assets. It's okay when we start adding more things to the mix with Pulse and Pulse.
Hey, Bluey.
How are you, Bluey?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, Bluey.
Yeah, good, mate.
How are you?
Yeah, good, all good.
Solid point, Jexer. I think they will get dragged up together once the buzz and the excitement comes back into the Hex price. People will be bullish on those other assets as well.
Well, I think it's just the Hart's Law thing where it just drags them all up. They're all bound together, so it's going to pull them all up.
Oh yeah, true as well. Is that their majority of pairing?
Majority, I'd have to go and check, but obviously with Hedron it is. I'd have to have a look on, and I'd say Maxi it would be as well. That would make sense. Yeah, it looks like Maxi is the main pair.
Yeah. Then Hart's Law applies.
Yep. I'd have to check and just see if there's any other Pulse Doge ones to see whether that's having the same effect, but I can do that while we're talking.
Hey, Hex is still trending on Twitter. I'm just looking now again. It's back at the top, 8,889 tweets. So we should all go and make a tweet just to keep it trending.
Yeah, hell yes.
Think about it.
Make it count. Say something meaningful. Say something profound about Hex.
And you got to do the $sign, HEX. Apparently that's what makes it trend.
So in answer to your question, Pulse Doge has a mix, predominantly USDC, but probably say a 60-40 split on Hex as well. So yeah, they're all sort of bound together.
I just fired off Hex with your X is the best.
Hey Bluey, how are you, mate?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you going?
Cool jacket.
Yeah, cheers. Reversible.
Oh, what's on the other side?
I reckon the inside looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's my rural Ukrainian look on the inside.
As green as the Hex candles.
Yeah. Pretty pumping, hey? Hedron's pumping as well. I guess it's all connected.
Yeah, that's what we're just saying. Everything seems to be... Hedron has actually pumped the most out of everything, but it's coming off a very, very low base, obviously. But yeah, everything's gotten dragged up into double digits, which is good.
So, by the way, the chart behind me is the Hex 5-minute chart. I decided I would leave it on, made my computer so it won't turn the screen off. So we'll have the Hex 5-minute chart just behind us for the whole stream.
Cool. It's perfect. Hey, I've got a video here just for anyone who just needed proof that Richard Hart's been warning people about rug pulls and the like. So let's just play this.
Because I'm trying not to just alienate extra communities with extra truth, but in this case, man, I'm telling you, if you have money in Celsius, pull it. If you have money in BlockFi, pull it. Or when you never get your money back, don't be surprised. Oh, they got a quarter order, you just don't get your money. Oh, they lost the keys, you don't get your money. This, like, how many times do you need to see this happen? So he's a smart guy, he's built successful businesses before, but I'm in crypto to empower you, not a company. Like, don't give other people your keys or they can steal all your money. It's not even your money anymore. It's their money, not your keys, not your coins. I can't be more clear. And I've been singing the song for years. Years. Do people listen? Some people listen. A lot of people don't.
I love that. Holy shit.
We fucking listen.
When was
I
that?
listened to that.
What an absolute legend.
I'm pretty sure
that's a fairly old vid. You can tell by the t-shirt he's wearing. Because he's not wearing like Gucci and Louis Vuitton and shit.
You can also tell by like how few Rolexes there are in the background.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So that video is fairly old.
Dude, he has been talking about it for ages, man.
Notice how he did that. He said himself he did that reluctantly because he didn't want to alienate. He said alienate other communities. Like he doesn't want other founders to hate on his shit early while the coin was still in its infancy, right? And so even under that context, he was still calling it out. Powerful stuff.
Yeah. Look, it just goes to there's so much scum and crap in this crypto game. There's so much crap, and it's not as simple as just getting in and buying a few coins and just hoping for the best. You know, the people who have done their due diligence with Richard Hart projects, HEX, if you've looked into it, if you've read the layman's guide, if you've read about it and not succumb to the nonsense that you can easily find by doing a Google search. Like you can very easily find like a lot of articles calling HEX a scam, and it's all nonsense. It's all nonsense because there could be in my opinion, there's no better crypto product out there. In my opinion, no better crypto product.
Agreed.
What I was gonna say was early on, like after Richard Hart said something like that. I'm not sure if it was that one, but he said something like that about BlockFi, and I was just like pulling my stuff straight out of BlockFi.
I never used BlockFi. In fact, I never used Celsius either.
I've not been able to bring myself to use. So I've got a credit card for crypto.com. I just can't leave funds on there.
I've got one.
I just don't trust leaving funds on there of any significant amount.
I do. I use that card, and there was one time where something went wrong, where some funds got hacked or lost or some shit, and they shielded everyone. Like they shielded the card users from having any kind of impact, and I think they even reimbursed the people. So. But obviously that was when the bull market was still reasonably strong, not bull market strong, but prices were reasonably strong. So
Yeah.
you know, when
You know
things are
what?
going good, they
Yeah.
can bankroll. They can not only can they internally bankroll fuck ups, but they also end up having like VCs that will come to the rescue because they want to be involved. Whereas look at what's happening with Celsius right now. They can't get a bailout from anyone because VCs are also scared. Because VCs are scared.
Every single lender had exposure to 3 arrows. They've fucked everyone.
Oh, the contagion.
Yeah.
But the whole of Celsius, the whole Celsius setup was kind of like bound to fail as well.
Well,
like I went into a Twitter Spaces. You know that guy Brad Mills who's been criticizing Hex a lot, and I know him. He's actually going to be on the film.
Shit.
Yeah, they flew out to him, and so he's going to be the kind of dissenting voice against Hex, explaining how it's a scam and all that kind of stuff. And so I bet
I would do a better job.
he had it probably. He had a Twitter Spaces, and so I went in and listened to it. It was all about Celsius, and they were talking about it, and it's like, what a bloody shit show! Like an absolute shit show. Like it sounds like that was just bound to blow up. It was just a matter of time. But the other thing that was really interesting, was they went on about Hex for a good hour. A good hour of them. Richard is so in their heads. Like, it's just amazing.
Rent free, baby. Rent free.
Dude, the next bull market is going. I don't know what's going to happen, but I believe the next bull market is just going to be Hex front and center. I think it is going to be the thing that people missed in the last bull run.
Everyone. Sorry, you go, mate. You go.
No, you can go.
I was going to say everyone was chasing yield this cycle, whether it was DeFi, yield farming, going into pools, all that sort of stuff, or giving your coins to someone you trusted, which was a more safer, supposed to be more safe and more trusted, giving it to your BlockFis or your Celsiuses. Everyone was just after yield. Yet they've sat there and looked across the pond at this thing that pays you yield like it was the devil. It just blows my mind that everyone's just overlooked this. Like it's been designed.
Yeah, the one that didn't have the counterparty risk.
Yep,
is the one that got demonized.
Yep, the one that didn't have counterparty risk, and it wasn't just an infinite inflating
and
token
still
to pay rewards.
They haven't changed their minds.
Yeah,
they haven't changed their minds at all.
It blows my mind.
They're going to hold on to that for years. They're just expecting it to blow up in people's faces, basically. They're just waiting for that to happen.
You can see the proof, though. We just saw proof that Richard's been calling this shit out for years, and he's right time and time again. Yet he's still bastardized by the community.
I find it funny that even in the light of what actually happened over the past 2 weeks, and I don't know, maybe some people are waking up, or they need that. Maybe just they need that big slap across the head and need to lose some serious money, and it's going to hurt for them to actually reconsider how they look at this space and where they should be putting their funds. And if just maybe that's the lesson people need to learn this time is they need to get a big swag of money taken off them.
Some people have learned it.
Yeah,
there's been plenty of Bitcoin people have been converted and stuff and have looked into it and stuff, but there's this group of people which they're going to hold on to that for dear life. They're not going to be.
Well, they can go down with this shit. I'm just getting distracted. There's a bit of November rain going on in the chat, but I got another clip that I always want to go back to because I think that this clip is the most significant thing that Richard Hart has said in the last 3 years.
In t.me/PulseXCom, and we're just winning the game. I mean, you look at these sacrifice addresses for PulseChain and PulseX, and they've got over $650 million of stablecoins sitting in there. Now, isn't that funny? Stablecoins during a bear market. Genius. That's a nice thing. By the way, when Bitcoin had dropped,
I love that.
You are right. You are right. He sold a lot of the crypto that was sacrificed that wasn't Hex. He sold it. He dumped it into stables, and now those projects are wrecked. So if he had maintained diversification in terms of saying, well, I got all this shit for free, I'll just leave it and it might moon, he'd be in a way worse off position by now.
I like to study the body language. When he's talking, he's like, and he's rubbing his head. There's like, you know.
Sometimes he goes super hard on his posture. That was one of those times where he's just like literally like. I was going to say before, the thing that was, and I've said this repetitively, I've said this a lot, it used to really annoy me, the inconsistency and hypocrisy of people within crypto that would accuse Hex of being a scam or just not talk about it at all, and then act like all these other, like that everything else was legit. So that to me was so much more disgusting than maxis that just call everything a scam that's not Bitcoin. That at least they're consistent. Whereas these idiots were acting like all these other projects were completely legit, talking about it like it's like this innovative technology, and then just not applying the same logic to Hex. Because if they did, then they would be like, Hex is better. Hex is way better. Like way better. So it wasn't just inconsistent. It was like completely arse about. And that has just annoyed me the entire time. And now they're going to learn. Now they're going to learn the hard way. It's just sad that we all get fucked because of that contagion risk that spread out and wrecked all of crypto. We're all getting smashed by their dumbasses.
Look, I think that we were always going to go into a bear market and have a few sharp trapdoor type drops. That's just what the market does anyway. This really ripped the Band-Aid off pretty quick, in my opinion. Everyone had no choice but to sell down and try and secure their positions and just stop the bleeding. And I still don't know if we've seen the end of that yet, because there's obviously a few companies have come out and said, yeah, we had exposure and we've managed to nullify that, sell down and liquidate positions where they had lending. And I'm specifically speaking about Three Arrows, had lending with us. I don't know that everyone's put their hand up and said the extent to which they are exposed. So maybe there's a few things that are still yet to come. That might be that catalyst for the next drop down. Who knows? But
people did warn that when Luna went down, that some of the flow-on effects would take quite a bit of time to occur. That it doesn't just all happen at once. That you end up having these flow-on effects. That
Hey, Jexa, how did Liquidity and what's the Teddy swap one? How did they?
I wouldn't even worry about Teddy. That's not even utilized. I think they've got 2 vaults on there. It's not even worth looking at those.
One of
them's tangents. He's doing some serious degenning over there.
Actually, Jexa, I had a thought today. I was looking at it. I was like, could the other vault be some kind of one that can't get liquidated? That's like, when it gets down to like the final vault, maybe that's like the team, like that's maybe the project vault that like can't, like just cannot get liquidated or something?
No, so they may have put a vault in there and had it at such a high collateral ratio that it's unlikely to get liquidated. But so what I done is I knew that there was only you and a couple of other vaults on there. So I went and chucked in like a buck into the stability pool, because every time you're holding something in the stability pool, you get given the incentive token.
You generate the incentive token, yes.
The equivalent token.
I'm the majority of the stability pool right now.
But what I didn't realize is what I didn't take into account, because I went back a month later and checked and thought, cool, I'm going to have heaps of rewards here. But as people...
But it had been wiped out as vaults
got
liquidated.
That's right. As they let their vaults get liquidated, I get given the the other token.
Yeah, I'm something like 60%. I'm like 60. I'm over 60% of that stability pool at the moment.
So you'd be raking in all the
So yeah, basically all that Teddy coin every day. I basically 60% of it goes to me.
So prior to this stream tonight, you would have been getting 60% of that. Now everyone's going to be over there.
Oh, but it's so like guys, don't all jump in on it because it's so.
You just blew your.
Oh no, legit. Like even 60% of the stability pool, the amount of Teddy you get in a day is like $3.
Yeah, don't do it, guys. Seriously, don't do it.
The shit's worthless. The shit.
Yeah, I was playing around with it just as because it's a very distressed system over there, so it was good for me just to see how things react and what they do and stuff like that.
Yeah. So how did their pegs hold up?
I don't even worry about Teddy Cash, but on Ethereum,
Teddy dollars hasn't held peg for like a really long time.
Liquidity,
weirdly, it's always above. It seems like it's always above. Like it's always worth more than $1, which is no good. Like you want your stable to always be close to $1. Like above is just as bad as below. So like above sounds good because you're like, oh, it's worth more than $1, but you don't want that shit. You want it to be $1. Like
what would happen normally in that instance is if your peg was above $1, you would go deposit funds into the vault, and you would draw out one stable coin, but it'd be worth $1.20, and then you just go sell it on the market. So you're paying $1 for it and selling it for $1.20, but they've just got no liquidity over there or anything. It's a
That's right. I did look at that, and if you're selling more than a few, it very quickly smashes you. I was actually thinking of like maybe adding to that liquidity pool just so that it.
Honestly, man, it's not worth doing anything over there. Like that network and what they've done over there is an absolute joke.
So Blue Bum's question about Liquidity.
Liquidity has been awesome, man. It's been rock solid. Yeah, it's been really good. And out of all of this debacle with Terra Luna and now what's bloody going on Tron, they are pure algo stablecoins, whereas Liquidity, although they've used the term algorithmic stablecoin, it's not algorithmic as in the way they are. It's fully backed by collateral. It just uses computer code to where people interact with the protocol. So it's algorithmic, I guess, in that aspect. It's using code on the blockchain, but it's not algorithmic as in that's how it maintains its balance. So I think there's going to be a repositioning of, so stablecoins will get broken up into 3 categories, I believe. You'll be counterparty stablecoins like your USDC and Tether. There'll be pure algorithmic stablecoins, and then there'll be collateralized stablecoins, more like a Liquidity or liquid loans or DAI even, where they're not algorithmic. The peg's not algorithmically obtained, but it's they're all collateralized. So I think there's just in terms of clarity, we're going to need to make sure that we define those terms a bit better.
USDC might end up being the CBDC.
I've said that from day one. I've said that.
Jack's saying
that. I can really see themselves setting up to do that. It just makes sense. Like they've got their hooks into the right places, and likewise, there's probably a lot of politicians and the like, or the people that make the rules have got a vested interest in it as well, I'd imagine.
Well, it's BlackRock. BlackRock owns Circle, which owns half of
the world.
USDC.
So I've said that from day one. I always thought that was the way it was going to go, and even probably 2 years ago, Mike Novogratz made a throwaway comment with a little bit of a sly grin on his face that said he'd like to be, he would have liked to have had a piece of Circle. So he's obviously aware of what's going on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Sammy, have you? Have we got someone for Hexagon of the Week this week? Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay. One second. Let me play the intro.
Okay.
Lots of plum trees A sheep to a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back.
That's a knife. All I had was me undies on.
So this week, our awesome Hexagon legend of the week is Corey Costa. So he is on Twitter, Corey Costa Crypto GAINZ at Corey Costa 123. He's a very active Hexagon who streams every day. Now he's written an article, and it's called "The Hexagon Will: The Hexperiment." So this article is expressing Hex and PulseChain and the passion of the Hexagon community. Please consider reading and sharing this. It highlights our strengths as a community and the firmness of Richard Hart as a leader. So I'll retweet that now. So if you guys want to check it out, at Sammy Chica on Twitter, I'll post it now. It's really cool.
Good stuff. And well done, Corey. Hexagon legend of the week.
He does tons of interviews, Corey. I think he was the first person to interview Alex, actually.
Hey, did you guys see Richard drove his freaking FX Ferrari or whatever it is, S90, onto a fucking beach?
Yep.
Like literally just went and bobbed it in the sand.
Yep.
Shit.
It was on Instagram today. By the way, follow Richard Hart's Twitter if you're not already. Sorry, not Twitter, Instagram if you're not already. I think he did it just like to get people outraged, because car enthusiasts would be like, bro, why are you driving $1 million Ferrari on the beach, you idiot? Like, so I think that is the first time where it's definitely outrage marketing. Definitely outrage marketing.
Well, I used to work as a case manager for Ford, and cars that went on the beach, like,
fucked.
Nah.
Yeah, they get
Like,
sand
you
in
know-
their vaginas.
You know who he needs? You know who he needs? He needs Unwrecked Pirate to get him out of that mess. Unwrecked Pirate is
Unwrecked Pirate good with sandy vaginas?
Oh yeah. He's an expert with the sandy V's. Yeah.
I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it. But that car would be fucked now. Like
massive
all the suspension and brakes and shit would be fucked.
Massive shout out to Unwrecked Pirate. He's not feeling the best at the moment, so big shout out to him.
Sending love.
Hope you're feeling better. Hope you're feeling better, mate. Hey guys, I have a sorry, Jackson, you go.
I was going to say a bit of a shout out to you, mate. You're a little bit under the weather as well, but you're here presenting and running the show, so
yep,
show must go on.
While we're doing shout outs, can I shout out Hex Bowler? He had a Twitter Spaces today that was effing hilarious. If you guys think that my shit is funny on my streams, this was next level. This was hilarious. I was laughing my ass off the entire time. I joined the Spaces, and I promised him that we would make him an admin on this channel because his Twitter Spaces was so funny. And he asked me to mention that he was a Hexagon from day 911, like 9/11 emergency, like call the emergency in. We need Hex to save us from all this financial fuckage. So if he's in the chat, it's 3 a.m. his time. Please, day 43, make him an admin if that's cool.
Yeah, sure. I can't make him an admin on Discourse Syndicate. That's beyond my powers. But
just on the Hex Late Show channel is fine. Yeah.
Yep.
He'll be one of the first, right? Because there's not many admins on that channel. But dude, this Twitter space was hilarious. Because you know sometimes you can't work out who's talking because it's like it's not like this where you can see who's talking. This dude was talking about his requirements if he's going to be one of the speakers at the Pulse conference, and he was like listing off all his requirements, and one of them was like, I'm going to need a harem of women, one of every skin tone, obviously. They are all going to need to be highly intelligent, but none of them mouthy. They're going to need to be all addicted to ratio, but only with me, and just went on this massive rant that went for ages about like all the requirements for this group of chicks. One of his requirements, he asked for his mum to be brought back from the dead. That's so beautiful and sad and funny all at the same time. I was like, that is like, I was just like, fucking hell. It was amazing.
Funny.
I don't think, are they recorded still?
What's his
Twitter
name?
Spaces?
What's his name now?
I don't think.
Hex Bowler. Hex Bowler wasn't the one. I don't think he was the one that was going on that list. Like, so it was his spaces as someone else talking about his list. Sorry, what was your question, Bluey? So you can choose whether the space is recorded or not officially. This one was not, but people in the spaces were saying that sometimes people will unofficially record it. So you know, so so there might be a record of that space, even though it wasn't officially recorded on the Twitter app, because it tells you when you're in the space. It tells you at the top whether it's being recorded or not.
I know it's hard to find, man. I was trying to, because I was looking for a recording of that other Twitter Spaces I was listening to, because they were just going off about Hex, and there was like a lot of slander against Richard there, like full on, like just out and out, like lies.
I can't believe some people are still calling Richard and Hex a scam.
Oh, it's like
knowing that there are actually lawyers that are looking into that shit now.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, the stuff he was saying was just out and out, bold-faced lies. You know, it's like, whoa, full on. But I don't know where you find like a recording of it, if there is one.
But you know that doesn't really surprise me though, that people are still calling it a scam. It's like people still call Bitcoin a scam.
Good
so
point.
True.
It doesn't surprise me. It's going to be around for a long time, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine, because those guys can miss out. They can just miss out, you know, and that's their problem. Really.
Did I ever tell you guys that there's a saying in Bitcoin? It's like everyone gets into Bitcoin at the time that they deserve. So it's similar. It'll be similar with Hex, right? Like you deserve to be late if it takes you that long to work. If you think it's a scam, then you deserve to be late.
I mean, you've got to put yourself in everyone else's shoes as well. How many coins and tokens are just flooding the market?
Thousands.
And how much time and effort do you put into something? Like if you see something come up, you have a quick glance at it. You might go have a look at the website. Go, oh okay, oh, it looks like shit, and you'll move on. You won't.
Agreed.
You won't. There's just not enough time in the day to sit there and research everything to the nth degree.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know what originally made me put that much time and energy into Hex, but for some reason, maybe it was a quiet bear market, so I had a bit of time on my hands. But I actually spent the time, and I probably more followed it along as a journey, whereas a lot of these other things you don't, unless you're following it along as part of that journey, you'll dismiss it. And the same thing is true for everything else that has come after Hex that's related. Maxi, Hedron, Pulse, like they all get started with the same rush, and people probably aren't even understanding the extent to which this ecosystem is actually being built out.
Yeah, Jack, so the story that I've heard most frequently is that people have come across a Richard Hart video somehow. Either it's been presented to them on YouTube, or friends told them about it, or whatever, and they've listened to enough of it to hear him say something that has resonated with them as a rare truth within crypto, and that has been enough for them to be like, this guy is legit. I'm going to invest something. I'm going I don't know whether this crypto is going to go up or down or whatever. Crypto's high risk, but this guy is at least telling unpopular truths. And
that's true.
And that I've heard that quite frequently.
Yep.
It's more they get triggered by him, like everything he's wearing. Honestly, it's that simple.
I saw what you're saying is right, Bluey, because I actually saw a clip of some podcasters who were just tearing into him, and one of them's actually like a I'm not going to say a super prominent comedian, but he's a well-known, like I knew his name. He's like a comedian from the US, and he does like a podcast with some other guys. They just talk about investing in crypto, and they were just like tearing into him because, basically the reason.
Basically, they say you just look at him. You just look at him, and it's obviously a scam.
Yeah. It's like what kind of person, what kind of person is going to put the price tag of their tracksuit? It's like, bros, the fact that you noticed it is the whole.
It's working.
Point.
That's the whole point.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I was listening to these Twitter spaces. They were going on about Richard and Hex for literally an hour, a good hour. It was a space set up for Celsius, and Richard was in their heads for like 1 hour. It was quite beautiful actually to watch, to listen to.
So it was. I would love. Hang on.
Sorry, that was my fault. Okay. I just came to click like on this video from my phone. Sorry about that. Click like, everyone.
Yeah, like and subscribe. I don't know.
Hey, do you guys want to have it? Do you guys have you been looking into what's like team and base is going to be?
Yeah, I have actually. Oh, as much as that's out there, but yeah, I reckon it looks really good.
So
haven't heard.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Hey, well, it's the guys who made, just to give the audience and Tangent the background and everyone or anyone.
Yes, please.
The people who made the Maxi contract have got new plans, and so the full details aren't out. But what the plan is at the moment is that they're going to anyone who burns Maxi, which is a big call, will get team.
Oh, I think I did hear about this actually.
Right? No. I don't think you're right there, mate. I don't think you have to burn
really?
your Maxi. No.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, man. Well, what did you think it was?
My understanding was if you held Maxi, you were entitled to get team.
No, you got to burn the shit, bro.
Guys, this is getting meta. This is getting meta.
You got to burn it, which means if you're holding Maxi and a whole lot of people are going to burn a whole lot of their Maxi, you're getting an absolute massive, well, not a massive, you're getting a bigger proportion of the share of that final stake if you're holding Maxi.
Okay, so hang on. Let's go back a bit because let's break it down because it starts off with base. Okay. Base is what it's all based off of, is my understanding. So base is going to be a 1 year perpetually rolling over stake. So same way that Maxi launched, you will take your HEX and you will, pledge it for the 1 year stake, and you'll be given the base token, which is the equivalent of Maxi, but instead of being a 15-year stake, it's a 1 year stake, but rolls over every 1 year. So as soon as it's finished, it gets rolled back in.
So you can get in and out each year, basically, like by pulling out HEX or putting in HEX.
Yep. So I think there must be, and I could have this a little bit wrong because not all the details are out, but it might be at the end of the stake there might be like a redemption period where you could then go back.
I think it'll be an amount of days. Yeah, I think there'll be an amount of days every year. Where for that amount of days every year, people will be able to trade in their base tokens for HEX.
Yep.
I'm not sure what's happening with the Hedron. Something else might happen to that. They're still working that out.
Why does it need to be Maxi? Why not just use HEX if it's going to be rolled into a stake?
Well, hang on.
No. There's two different things.
Later.
Oh.
Yep. So base is just for simplicity. Base is the same as Hexi, but it's a 1 year rolling stake instead of a 15-year stake. The view being that it means you can have that liquid access, but got the benefits of 12% per year on your stake because you're not doing 30-day rolling stakes. So it encourages people to not have this bow wave of 30-day rolling stakes always coming through, but you could have that same liquid type position, but with a year.
But every year, you could cash in for the HEX or put more HEX in for the next year's stake.
Yeah. But wait up, Maxi already gives you the liquidity because you can sell the maxi. So it's only giving extra liquidity to the actual stake that underlies the token. There's no point. Like, as in, how does that actually benefit? Because so Maxi's got the liquidity and the maximum bonus for the time.
Yeah. So okay. So
this is no more liquid than Maxi.
Let's say you're
hang on. Liquidity's separate. Liquidity's a separate issue.
Sorry. Liquid, like how liquid it is, not liquidity, of the coin. So not liquidity in terms of the order book, in terms of how liquid your position is. Maxi is already as liquid as it gets. You can sell it literally at any time.
Well, no, but
it's
underlying.
But
with base, you'll be able to, like with Maxi, you have to wait 15 years until you burn. But hang on, until you burn Maxi
to redeem it.
To redeem it.
Yeah.
To redeem it. So with base, you'll be able to do that each year.
But who cares? Like, as in,
it's interesting. It's not as good as Maxi necessarily. Hang on.
That makes no fucking sense.
Okay, but tangent. Okay, if you're a smaller hex,
because you don't need to redeem it, because you can just, if with Maxi you can just sell it. Like, I know.
But the thing is, Maxi is selling at such a premium to get into Maxi, like this will be probably.
If you want to get into Maxi, there's only a limited amount of Maxi, so there's not more Maxi. So this is gonna have, like, that's the only like angle I can think of that why base would be a proposition, because there's where's the value prop?
It'll be better than holding liquid hex, as opposed to liquid hex. It'll be better than just holding liquid hex, because
but it won't be as good. But it won't be as good if someone was basically to just do another version of Maxi.
True. Yeah.
So.
Maybe, yeah. Depending on how successful that second version is.
Matt, in my opinion, that makes absolutely zero sense.
Well, let's not shit on their. Let's not shit on their.
Zero sense.
No,
it's
because we don't know.
Idea.
No, we don't know the fine details. So why don't we wait to get the details? There could, there's probably stuff in there that we're not covering, and we don't want to,
I don't need to hear any more details. I'm sorry. So like, I know you guys know me as the one who's always saying that the Maxi premium's too high. So this will sound weird coming from me, but Maxi, you already have the maximum amount of how liquid your position is, because you can sell it at any time. Rolling it in 1 year stakes does not increase. It doesn't help at all. Like, it literally does not help. So there is 0 point of doing that compared to just having a 15-year stake that is fully liquid.
You're just saying do another 15.
They would just be better off doing another, basically just saying we're going to do the same thing Maxi did again. Like, it would have a higher value prop immediately. I'm sorry, it just would.
I think you've got a really good point. I think you've got a very, very good point.
Yeah, no,
I know I do.
I'm trying to think of a counter argument.
I'm sorry, it's that obvious.
But it's still good. Maybe it's not as good as Maxi, but the problem is with Maxi is that because it's selling at such a premium now, it's hard to really kind of get in. Like, you can buy it, but you'll be buying it at the premium.
I think the people that created it possibly thought like that there was an advantage to doing that. But there's only an advantage to doing that if you're an individual and you're actually locked. But with Maxi, you're fully liquid. So, like...
Okay, all right. So I'll chuck a couple of things out and just see whether this helps. If you keep running Maxis, what happens when all of those Maxis expire in a close period to each other? So if you do another one this month and another one in the next month, and then in 15 years' time, you've got absolute truckload of these various Maxi stakes ending, what happens to
I went on record at the very start when we first found out about Maxi saying, I hope that does not happen. I was saying, I hope they don't start launching them like in close succession, because I just don't think, it wasn't that I wasn't saying I hope it doesn't happen. I was just saying, I think if people start doing them in close succession, the demand will drop off quickly.
Yeah. So, and they're not at the moment, and that's why they're not doing that. And that's why they've also come up with this other product.
Okay. So what's the other one? Sorry.
There's team as well. What's that?
Yeah. So the way
What's
you
that?
get team, I'm pretty sure the way you get team is by burning maxi.
I don't.
And
think
basically,
that's right. Who would do that? Because then you can. No, but you think when you get to the end of the maxi contract, you've got to be able to redeem it. So if you can't redeem it, what happens to that hex?
It just sits. It sits in that account.
It's locked forever. It doesn't.
No.
doesn't move from
Everyone
that
else is
account.
getting it. Everyone's getting a bigger proportion.
No, it doesn't work.
If there's only if there's I think so. I think it does. There's only if there's less if there's a lesser amount of maxi.
If
how would
people
there be
who
hold that?
It depends it depends how the redemption works.
Yeah, it depends how the
Okay.
contract.
It could be either of what you guys are saying. It depends on the contract.
Yeah.
See, Bluey, the contract wouldn't know how many people are not going to claim, right? So I think it's the way that Jexa and Day 43 are saying.
No,
the
but
contract.
If the tokens are burned,
wouldn't know.
the contract will know.
There's a burn function in the contract. There's a burn function in the contract, right? That's how they're
in the maxi contract.
So the contract's going to.
Well, that would that would be your redemption.
So let's say you have 100. Let's say you have 100 people with 1 unit each, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say 10% of those burn. That means you only have 90 people. That means those 90 people get access to all of the funds in the thing.
I'm moving my opinion back to it depends on the code. It depends on the code of the maxi contract.
But what does the team? What's the benefit of burning it though? Like you've just helped everyone else get more.
Yeah,
but
you get some sort of. You get a percentage from
base,
from the base, and from future projects.
Okay, so when you do, excuse me, guys, when you get a bunch of people come in and pledge for base, you're hoping to get that 10% bigger pays better. My understanding is if you hold team token, you get that a percentage of that bigger pays better.
Bonus.
So it doesn't go to the people that are in that stake. It goes to the people that hold the team token.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sorry. My understanding was you don't have to burn maxi. The buy pressure. So just before team launches, it could be highly lucrative for people to go and buy and hold some maxi because then they'll get airdropped or they can claim the team token. That's my understanding. It makes no sense at all to burn maxi for something that is going to pay a very, very small amount. It would be counterintuitive. And I think that burn function that you're talking about in maxi, I could be wrong here. I haven't read the code, but I think that is the actual redemption mechanism. So you've got to actually burn the maxi to get your hex back out. The maxi's got to get destroyed.
Yeah. Well, and they're still designing all of this, so like this is all just a lot of conjecture at the moment. But we'll look into that and see. I'm pretty sure maxi is burnt, so we'll see what happens.
We'll have a look. Yeah, it'll be good to once Dick catches back from his holiday, and we'll get him and Gold Key on and get it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah,
that sounds good. It's when you have been sold on the idea of investing in that contract, the maxi contract, to then like later on, a few months later be told, oh, by the way, now go and burn that same token that we got you to believe in. It takes a bit of a leap of faith just to accept it on face value. So I want to hear like the details. I want to hear the details.
Like you'd be the game theory wouldn't work because no one would go and burn it because they'd want to be the person left with the biggest stack from the stake.
Well,
it wouldn't make sense. Yeah.
No, but that's what makes it interesting. But yeah.
I don't think you get anyone burning it on that basis.
How much is maxi at the moment?
1.75
of a
hex.
More than hex.
1.75 more than hex.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So originally, when you staked, it was 1-for-1, one maxi for one hex, and now you get 1.75 hex for every maxi if you wanted to sell your maxis. So it's 75% premium. Hey guys, I have a bit of almost like a halftime intermission meme video that I'm going to show. So let me just kick that off.
It's real simple, okay? Stop being a little fucking bitch. You're a scumbag, scamming piece of shit. You don't realize it. I'm going to help you understand that.
What are the 3 ways smart people get broke? Liquor, ladies, leverage.
Bro, that was fucking legendary. Who made that?
That was someone called Slate Dow was the creator of that. Slate Dow.
Fucking legendary. Everything about that was legendary. The beats, the fucking video, it just... I don't know why I found it so particularly funny when he blew Vitalik away. That was just fucking hilarious, man.
Hey, we've got some very funny memes in this community, and you know what? I was thinking that would actually be a good, like new segment that we could have, like some sort of meme review. Because I used to watch, someone was it? What's not Altcoin Daily? It might have been Bitcoin Daily. Was there a guy called Bitcoin Daily on YouTube? He used to do videos. And then he stopped.
Oh, yeah. The English dude. He was really
the English
funny.
dude. Yeah, and he used to do.
I was so looking forward to him doing something on HEX.
He I think he stopped completely, didn't he?
Did he stop? I haven't seen his videos for ages. Yeah,
he must have just made too much money and gone, fuck, why am I even doing this anymore? But he
must have been a lot of work to make his videos.
Yeah, for sure. But he used to do a program dedicated to meme review once a month. And
right.
they were the best. They were the best videos because he did such a good job of just piecing everything together. I miss that.
He was a funny guy.
Yeah.
You know who makes some really cool memes? Brizology makes some really funny memes. You know,
absolutely. Yeah. He posts them in the Cutthroats.
Yeah, I saw some of his memes on Facebook, and I didn't know who he was, and I pinched it and posted it, and then I met him, and I'm like, oh my god, you make those memes, they're so cool. But I've got heaps of cool Hex memes that I've saved throughout the last couple of years, so I reckon we should definitely start, getting them up here, because a lot of people haven't seen the older ones too, real funny ones.
Yep, there's heaps of them. If you just go into the Telegram chat, there's a Hex memes Telegram chat. It is just jam packed with, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, lots of fun. So, have we, Jexa? Are we prepared? I don't even know if we've had anyone.
I put one in last week.
Yeah, no, there's been as well. The regulars have all put in. Bluey's put in. I haven't put one in.
Okay, well, Are you ready?
I would like to drag it out a little bit longer. I want the price to go up just a smidge more.
I'm sorry, we don't engage in this sort of corrupt practices here on the Hex Late Show. So we're going to get straight to it now. tits of the week. Who have we got next?
Well, I think we've got a tie this week, which is unusual, but we've got Hodl Cat and Blue Bum. They've both just pipped me at the post. I was very close there. I just needed to inch up just maybe one more point, and I would have been in the money. But no, we've got to give it to Hodl Cat this week, I guess.
Hodl Cat is the viewer winner, and Bluey, you're the winner out of us. Congratulations, mate. Bitch tits.
I don't know if I'm not even sure if Hodl Cat is around.
I went mad bearish. I think I went like 2 cents or something.
Hodl Cat's in the chat, so he takes the win.
Nice. Well done, Hodl Cat. Well done. Bitch tits of the week.
All right.
What an honor.
We'll put the link out for everyone to chuck in their votes again now for next week.
Yep. There we go, guys. It's www.titbit.ch. Make sure you go there and vote for what price you think it's going to be next week. And then you could have the honor of being bitch tits of the week. It's quite nice.
Do you reckon we'll crack 5 cents by next week?
A good question.
I'm going to put it in. What the hell?
Do you pick 5 cents for next week?
Yeah. I can't help being optimistic about Hex.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Yeah. It's looking good.
Yeah. I think if we get another pullback from the broader market, we'll go down for a little bit of a trek as well, I think.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
Who knows?
I've got a sneaking suspicion that stable coins
in the bear market.
That's
Genius.
Did Sammy leave?
She just went,
she's ducked out. I'm not. Her internet sucks sometimes, so yeah. So what's going on in Colombia, Louis?
I've been doing a lot of dancing. Been like cranking out the dancing lessons, getting into my salsa and porro and bachata.
Nice, man.
Pretty fun. Hey, we should probably also have a talk about this new project that Alex is dreaming up, which is probably going to be called Icosa.
Oh, yeah.
It's a better name than
Hedron.
Well, it makes a lot of sense because it that directly connects to Hedron, Icosa Hedron. Which is the shape, the 3-dimensional shape, which represents the Hedron token.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, totally. I think it's a better name. It's going to be interesting. Like, it's still all being formulated, but it's pretty close as well. And so you're going to be able to stake Hedron to earn Icosa and Hedron. And you're going to be able to stake Icosa to earn Hedron. And
what was the point of Icosa? How did that come about?
You know what? We should probably have Alex on to describe that, like why he decided to develop it. It kind of came out of discussions in Hedron about what you could do here and there, and then all of a sudden, Alex kind of came along and said, "Hey, I'm making." I'm just trying
to think whether it just an invented incentive token, or is it ties into the ecosystem somehow?
It does tie into the ecosystem in kind of a complex way, but basically, it's just a new token, and you can get that token by sacrificing HSI stakes. And what happens is they get sent, all of the Hedron gets borrowed from them. That becomes the yield for people staking. And those HSIs are then sent to auction. So it's going to be a way of fueling the auctions, at least launch period. I'm not sure how incentivized it's going to be sacrificing HSIs after the launch period.
That's I'm wondering who would create a HSI just to blow it up.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to make it quite incentivized to do that. But that will happen probably for the launch phase, definitely. I think it'll be highly incentivized to do that. I'm not. It'll depend on prices.
I'll blow it up. I'll blow it up. I'll blow it up.
You'll blow up a few of your stakes?
For the HSIs?
Sorry. I thought we were talking about government buildings. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm fucking joking. Or am I? Wait, the chart behind me has almost gone off the screen. Can you guys see that?
Yeah. We've had a legit Hex Late Show pump.
You gotta be shitting me.
Late Show.
It's the tangent pump.
I would have won if we had waited 5 minutes. I would have won.
And wait, Jexa, you said you wanted to wait. You said you wanted to wait a bit.
Yeah.
Why did we not wait?
Day 43, pull the rules on.
Bro, we don't have this sort of corruption.
Was the reason that you wanted to wait because you thought that it was going to mean that you win?
I needed to tick up one more.
You should have given a different reason, bro.
Damn it!
Too honest.
Yeah.
Too honest.
Cheating 101.
Yeah, that's a legit pump. That's going to go off the screen.
That is a legit pump. What is that?
What are we up to?
4-1.
Well, 4-1-2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that off the back of broader market, or that's just a hex thing we're doing at the moment?
I haven't looked at the other charts, but you know that downtrend line that I was talking about before, we're above it.
Yep.
So as long as this is not a fake out, this is great news. This is excellent news. And bad news for all those people that were cheering for 1 cent hex like this, the double.
Yeah.
I've got 4 cents right here. I've got 2 and 2 like that.
Yeah.
Because
I can understand those people wanting to get hex because they love hex and they just want to get more of it. But I don't think that would be good for hex to drop so far. Like percentage wise.
Yeah.
I think the best scenario, given the situation, is that we don't go further than 95% down, because then we're on par.
That's enough. That's enough pain.
No, but then we're on par with things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which have both done that. Maybe Bitcoin hasn't done that. Maybe Bitcoin's done 93%. Ethereum's done 95 for sure.
So remember with Bitcoin, especially in the earlier as you go back further and further, the ARBs that you would see on different exchanges, especially in times of high volatility, you could have completely different prices in terms of where the wick went to on 2 different exchanges. So I think claiming those percentage drawdowns, particularly if you have those capitulation wicks, it would actually depend heavily on what exchange you're looking at. But you're right that theoretically, Bitcoin is typically more downside resistant than alts.
So I think I'm just going to say, every time I hear it, like I'm just reading stuff in the chat. Like there's a lot of bad world news coming, so they're expecting there to be like down to my comeback for this sort of stuff is just going to be stables in the bear market. Genius. That's just going to be my comeback from now on, and then hopefully that plays out.
So do you think that regardless of what happened in the broader macro, now obviously it had an impact, but do you think we were due for a cycle top anyway? Like we're, in terms of timing and things like that, it's coincided pretty close to previous cycles. Do you think the market had just it was.
That's one thing that's really That's one thing that's really surprised me, which has been Richard's accuracy at predicting his tops.
Yeah, so he didn't know what the hell was going to happen in the broader macro. Now, obviously, he was going from a top.
And what that shows is that his argument that this market is a self-reflexive system and that's all it is, and this greater macro actually is not having that much of an effect on it at all. It's actually just that's a normal market cycle of a self-reflective system. So when people are selling, everyone panics and sells. When people are buying, everyone panics and buys. And so we're just seeing that natural cycle.
I'm just trying to think back in time. Have we, because over the last 2 cycles, the equities market, that's been in a bull market, hasn't it? Like it's had pullbacks, but the long-term trend is...
Because crypto's only been here since 2008. We've only really seen crypto since money printing.
Since the GFC,
since money printing. So, but I mean, even now, like when they're raising rates, I mean, they're just chucking it up a little bit because they're so scared. It's not going to work.
Still got inflation.
I don't know if they're going to like. Are they going to put it up more? They're probably not. If they put it up more, then they wreck the whole thing. So they're probably just going to keep printing at some stage.
Did you guys see the tweet that I retweeted? Someone that said, basically, right now, as they put the rates up, they're actually damaging the supply chains because there's less people willing to invest because money becomes more expensive. So then people are less willing to invest into infrastructure, the required infrastructure to get things back to going. So they're finding now, they did a study that inflation's actually going up still, even though they are increasing the rates, the interest rates. So they're going to get to a point where they're going to realize, well, that's not working. We just have to go back to printing. So it's likely that they're just going to go back to reducing rates and printing the shit out of it. And then it's just like hyperinflation. It's like within years, if not sooner.
I don't think they have a plan. I don't think our elites have a plan or they don't know.
We are governed by cruel idiots.
They're really dumb people.
They're just,
ignorant people.
Everyone is just kicking the can down the road because they've inherited they've inherited a fucking dumpster fire from the previous generation, and they're just kicking the can down the road, and that's all they know how to do. That's all they know how to do.
So you're exactly right, Tangent. If they inflate rates, then it decreases GDP, which puts you into that stagflation scenario where they're caught between a rock and a hard place. So God knows how they're going to deal with it. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next year or two. Just on a side note, I flicked you a link earlier today. I think it was between Pomp and Nick Carter.
I'm so sorry, man. I meant to get back to that link and I didn't get back to it.
I don't normally go and watch Pomp stuff, but that was a really good interview. Nick Carter is a pretty young guy, but man, he is
maybe I've already seen this then.
He's really switched on. It could have been from a month or so ago. I'm not too sure.
You know what? Because I actually did see a really good interview by him recently.
Yeah.
So maybe I have actually seen it. I'll go check.
Yeah, he's a really, really smart, switched on guy. So if you want to understand what's going on and more of the macro stuff as well, he just lays it all out. So check out that one. So Nick Carter and Pomp really goes for about an hour and a half, but just packed full of really good information. So check that out if you're into that kind of thing. But yeah, so like I was saying, I don't know whether the whole broader thing will, like whether we were going to go into a bear market anyway, and now we're still we'll flush out all the leverage that was built up in the system, and then we get to go back up again once we've hit that reset button. Maybe we do that regardless of what, or in spite of what's going on. If inflation's still high, even though they're increasing interest rates, but if inflation is still high, surely that's got to be good for prices in the crypto space if we're measuring against the US dollar.
Jexa, according to YouTube, I was already 30 minutes into this 50-minute.
Oh, there you go.
So Yeah, and
guys,
I agree with
what
you. I think I was considering tweeting this out, despite how much the Hex community dislikes Pomp because of how good the content is, and so I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Guys, what do you think? There's a lot of worry and concern about the macro, and how that's going to affect crypto.
Justifiably.
How do we think? I mean, Hex is still quite a small ecosystem. It doesn't take a lot of huge players, a few big players getting in could really just pump the price pretty hard, pretty damn hard. What do we think the highest of stakes documentary, assuming it gets picked up by an Amazon or a Netflix, and it's going to have this reach to, millions and millions of people who wouldn't have otherwise known anything about PulseChain or Hex. What do we think? What kind of effect could that have in a bear market? Like in a bear market?
Minimum 4x.
Bro. Can I say something that's really important about this? Is you know how susceptible people are to be convinced of something if a documentary is biased? So you've seen those documentaries that are like anti-sugar or anti-meat, and you watch that shit, and even me, who is resilient to those kinds of like emotive tactics where they try to present this bias in like narrative that really is to try and convince you of something. So I think it would depend heavily on whether the documentary is neutral, how neutral the documentary is. And I think it would be neutral to positive Hex. Like it would be, I assume, because I perceived that the people creating the documentary are pro Hex. So I hope that bias kind of comes through a little bit without being too much. But if it was presented as being scammy, then it could actually damage the price. I mean, that's my point, is that it would depend on how it's presented.
But if it okay, just I want to take two tracks on that. So
please.
Can I just make a comment, really quick comment, Jexa, before?
Yep.
If it was presented as scammy, you would have a lot of contributors to that project out for blood.
Upset. Yeah, of course.
Fucking blood.
Not to mention the producer.
Right?
Yeah. I was just thinking though, if it did come across as negative, does it just mean you haven't attracted buyers? They can't sell it down on your head, can they? If people watch it for the first time and they choose not to buy it, they're not like they can damage the price.
That's a really good point, actually. That's a really good point.
So although it wouldn't get
it wouldn't impact the people who already hold it. It would be unlikely to. So I agree with you. It's likely to only be able to have a neutral to positive impact.
The feeling that I get from the producers and the creators is they're really trying hard to present different sides of the story. But I think you're right. They're not going to put out something negative. Why would you do that after someone's funded the whole production?
I don't think it's as simple as either negative or positive. There's going to be things about it that people perceive as positive.
You've got to tell a good story.
That's it. They're going to tell a good story, and they've made sure they have all the creative control for that.
Yeah. So I keep going back to the Tiger King. Like, who was the villain in that? Who was like everyone? They twisted the plots and they showed different views of people's personalities and things they'd done that were good and bad. So by the time it was all said and done, you couldn't say there was a villain in that story.
Oh, that woman who was his competition, she was pretty much the villain in the end, wasn't she?
Didn't Richard say they ended up all being villains or something?
Yeah, it was. That's what I'm saying. I don't think no one was sort of really targeted as she was a villain in the eyes of the Tiger King, but then he was a bit of a dick. What he done with animals and things like that. So there was a lot of different points of view that made you see them from all different angles. So I think that's probably, I mean, that's what makes an interesting story, is not a one-sided. It would come off as being very biased if it was a one-sided sort of tale. So I think you've got to show, they'll show the Richard's faults as well.
Did you ever see that, like the lady out of that show,
Carol Baskin?
Yeah. Did you ever see her? She did like a shout out to someone in the Hex community.
Oh, that's
what?
right. Yeah.
Paid
cameo thing.
Paid cameo.
Yeah.
What was that? Who was that?
Was it just one?
Oh no, I know. Remember, you know how there's a gentleman called Joe Hexotic in the community.
Yeah, I know him.
He's got the name. So I think she did a shout out to him because he's got that play on the name.
Yeah.
Joe Exotic. So yeah. It was Matty Allen who organized that. That was pretty cool.
One of the guys who does like political videos here in Australia, his name's Friendly Geordies. Most of you guys haven't heard of him. He got all those. He went on that cameo thing. He went on that cameo thing and paid famous people in the States to rip on like Australian politicians. The video, and so the video is him deciding what to ask them to say, and he's just doing like shots of gin so that he'll like ask for the most like outlandish shit, and some of these dudes actually say it. It's actually quite a hilarious video, just like calling them out on insider trading and just it's just ridiculous. It's so good. That cameo thing is actually pretty awesome for the lols.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Actually, Keith just put up Stephen's comment, that one he's just chucked in there, because that's a really interesting one.
Whoa, that's long. I don't have that.
Long.
I'm going to need my ADHD medication.
So I'll give you the TLDR. So Richard basically made a comment in, I don't even know which stream it was from, but he was saying wouldn't it be great, I'll paraphrase this, wouldn't it be great if the doco launched at a point in time when Hex was at its lowest and it gave maximum opportunity for new people to get in and do well? Sort of the paraphrasing of it. So all these timing theories, I don't believe any of them. Like that's what Richard said. Now,
yeah, but he's going to use sales points. He's going to take whatever situation.
When Richard said it, he said it as a secondary bonus. Like he made it clear it was like as a secondary bonus to Pulse launching at the bottom if it happens to launch at the bottom. Like,
yeah, you got all the way up to climb.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
But if it happens accidentally, then that's cool. But I think the idea that people are trying to deliberately time things, I'm with Orca on this. It's like
that would be next year.
This is one of the most uncertain macroeconomic financial environments we have ever been in, and so the idea that anyone can like try to like accurately time that shit is just nonsense. It's just fucking.
Oh no, I totally agree with you on that. Like, no one's going to pick the dead bottom and say, okay, let's launch, boys, because you can't.
Yeah.
Even to the point where you can't say to Netflix, they come to you and they go, oh yeah, we're gonna buy it, but shit, we don't want to air it for another year, guys. Like you.
And the people that buy the rights are not going to it's
you gotta watch premiere it now, sort of thing. Like they'll just do whatever the hell they want.
So anyway. January 2023, right? January 2023.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying. That's what Sammy's saying. Only, bro. I remember last Christmas we were saying, yeah, it's coming out for Christmas.
Not the movie.
No, the chain.
Yeah, PulseChain. Yeah.
Dude, I've got some very skeptical friends right now who are just like,
really?
Dude, like serious.
I mean, it sounds like
in general.
No, on PulseChain.
On PulseChain. Oh, what? As in, they're worried that it might never come out. That it was like a rug, like
because there's that when you search like Richard Hart
That's not even a rug. That's not even a rug because a rug requires you to be standing on it before it gets pulled out from underneath you. This is just straight. This is the carpet salesman. This is the carpet salesman coming around to your house and just straight punching you in the face. Like, no.
Yeah, no. Well, look,
tell them that is very unlikely. Very unlikely.
No, that's what I've said. That's what I've said.
And,
these are
and,
people
Tangent will cover any loss they got.
You can tell.
I mean,
them
the test net. You can say it.
You can tell them that if that makes them stop panicking.
I mean, a working product is up and running.
Yeah,
that testnet works.
Testnet.
Like they could.
Yeah. Wait, that would be a ridiculous con to make a testnet that works that well.
Yeah.
So the only difference is you're just not changing the port. You're just like, fuck you guys. I'm not doing it. Like all the code is there, all the front ends are there, everything works flawlessly, and you're just like, yeah, I'm just not going to turn the mainnet on. Like,
honestly, out of all you guys, do you
I told you guys not to have expectations. Now you fucking know it. Like,
are any of you guys worried about how long this is taking, or what are you concerned about the launch date? Does it factor into anything?
For me, it's most important that they get what they're doing
right.
Yeah, that's the most important.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that
I don't want anything rushed into.
All I want is a bit of notice because I've forgotten my fucking strategy. It's been that long. I just need to get my head straight for like a day or two and be like, all right, what was my actual game plan? Because I've literally forgotten it. It's been that long. But but let's be serious. Like
game plan. People keep talking about game plans. I'm like,
I know. I'm just like sit back and watch game plan. Like,
I don't know. The people who just dude, when Ethereum launched, would there have been game plans then? Like, I don't know. Well, when there was the fork, were there game plans?
And on an ETH launch, though, there was nothing on it.
True, this is true.
There was nothing to do. There was nothing to do. Like.
Yeah. What about the Ethereum Classic fork? Was there anything to do there? Like
that was pretty controversial.
Yeah.
Shit.
At that time.
Whenever there's a fork, there's always things to do. There are things that you can do.
Dude, that's a good point because I was around for that and I didn't do shit.
There's nothing you could do. Well, what could you do? You could sell or buy your Ethereum, or sell or buy Ethereum Classic.
You could dump tokens on one or both networks or whatever.
I dumped Bitcoin Cash when I got it.
Or you could dump the chain you didn't believe in.
Yeah.
You know what's strange is I would have taken the Ethereum Classic side of that ethically. I would have taken the code is law.
Well, that's
attitude.
the true. That's the original chain, really, isn't it?
Yep, that's the one where they did code is law. I would have been like code is law. Yeah. I'm going to be on this one. I just kept both though, thankfully. But
I thought that was going to be the end of Ethereum.
You know what? Actually, it wasn't that difficult to see that because Vitalik was supporting the non-classic chain, the one where code was not law. It was fairly obvious quickly that one would probably be the one to succeed. So even though ethically I knew that ETH Classic would be the one that I would want to win, you knew that Ethereum was going to be the one. Like it took the name, it took the founder. Like it was reasonably obvious that one was going to be the winning chain.
Oh yeah, it was obvious at the time. I mean, the whole consensus and everyone just went into, oh no, this is just what we're doing. It's going to be okay. This is the new chain now. We're just going to hard fork it and get that money out.
I think when I've heard people talking about the game plan, it might be people who didn't actually get an opportunity to sacrifice for Pulse or PulseX. Like
it's
those
more
people,
it's more critical for people who didn't sack. Definitely.
Yeah. So they need a game plan. They're going to need to.
But also just for your average user, there's tons more choices to make. Just for your average user, because we're going to have double of everything, and you can delegate, you can one-sided stake. You can like swap. You can bridge over your ERC20 and build liquidity pools with your PRC20. Like there's so many choices, and so many products, more products now as well. Like we're gonna have Maxi, Hedron, Hex, all the other stuff, plus all the copies on both chains. It's like
it would be so easy to make a mistake.
Check it out. The price went off the screen. The Hex price went off the screen. So I obviously did not predict what could happen, what could pump. Sorry to cut you off. What were we saying?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Hey, I want to bring up a little comment. Richard he made a few.
Sorry, man.
No, it's all right. It was nothing.
So Richard got on stream and he made some comments about some of the delays and what they were working on. Do you remember what he said they were working on? It was changing the Geth code and offloading some of the overhead.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So when I got to thinking about that, what he was more or less saying was you've got a certain amount of block space, and they were filling up that block space with all the overhead of the validating and staking.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So if you offload that and make more space in the block for transactions, what impact does that have on deflation?
Faster.
And
deflation.
Yeah. So because deflation is 25% of the fee is burnt. So if you're a staker, you want more transactions if you're a delegator, you want more transactions in a block for two reasons. You'll get higher fees. You'll get a higher percentage of fees because there's more transactions in the block, and we'll have faster deflation.
More burning.
Yeah. So those sorts of optimizations are actually going to be, if we're patient and wait for those things, the net benefit is going to be there for the life of the chain. It's going to increase the value of the coin quicker.
Alex from Hedron was saying that this is something that they would have wanted to do anyway. It's not something that they necessarily needed to launch the chain. The testnet is up at the moment. They could launch it, but this would be like such a good optimization, and probably in combination with maybe if we just wait for Bitcoin to bottom out a bit before we.
Yeah,
maybe that your thinking is part of it as well.
Well, you've got breathing space now, so why not do some of the shit that you're thinking about doing?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think be patient. That's all. If you can free up 10% of a block for extra transactions, that's net positive all around. I think faster.
Yeah, faster, quicker.
Yep. More
fees. More block space means cheaper fees as well, even though they're cheaper.
Yeah, probably cheaper, but more of them. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So higher volume of transactions, more burning, all good stuff. I think we might have the right team on the job, hey?
Yep. Absolutely.
Right. I mean, it's all bonus anyway. It's like
it's all bonus. This is true. Guys, we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. Anything else anyone wants to cover?
Don't think there's any questions in.
Look, I didn't cover the Hedron token, the whole Hedron, what's happening with Icosa and stuff very, very well. But I'd recommend people going along to the Hedron chat and just reading about what Alex has written about it to start wrapping your heads around it. It is, when you first kind of read about it, it is a bit kind of like, whoa, this is a bit complex. But I think it's going to be actually quite bullish for both Hex and Hedron. And yeah, I'll try to get my head around it to be able to explain it a bit better in the future as more details come out as well. But it's going to be something pretty interesting.
Cool, man. Can't wait to get the details.
So sounds like we're going to have to get a few of the founders back on over the course of the next
definitely
few weeks.
Yeah, we'll have to get
a lot of things are changing.
Yeah, we'll have to get the Maxi guys on as well.
Yep.
At some point.
I don't think we've ever had Dipcatcher on, have we?
Yeah, well, I did Dipcatcher. We did Dipcatcher ages ago before
early.
anyone. I invited him on because I thought he was a super intelligent guy.
That was way before Maxi. Way before.
Yeah, but not as part of Maxi. I don't think we had him on. So.
No. We tried to, and then the timing is hard because he is.
It's tough to get the guys from the US on because it's just terrible time for them. It's like for some people it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, but for others it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's doesn't work out well for some people, and unfortunately we're not that much of a draw card that we can although having said that, there are plenty of people who have come on at 3 o'clock in the morning their time, and definitely appreciate that, but I don't expect it. That's for sure. Don't expect it. Any last words, Jexa?
No, be patient. Enjoy the cheap prices while we've got them. Make the most of that. Do your dollar cost averaging if you're in acquisition mode. Don't assume that you're going to get it cheaper, but just average in if you're in that mode. This is a good chance to make up some ground that you probably thought you were never going to get the chance to make up. So take advantage of it.
Tangent.
I wanted to mention there was a DDoS attack on the Tor network. I know it's not really a sign out thing, but I thought it was worth mentioning that our freedoms and privacy are always under attack from various attack vectors, and we need to stand strong mentally and digitally and physically and spiritually. And
so how would someone stand strong to support the network? Would you say like just donate to Tor, or is there some sort of bridge that someone can run, or like what can they do? I think donations probably. Donations
I'm not
probably
sure actually. Yeah. Donating to the Tor project is actually probably pretty important.
Yeah. Bear in mind that government agencies most definitely do run bridges, Tor bridges.
Yes. Yeah.
And relays. Most definitely.
I read somewhere that there was an increase in nodes being run by government agencies and that sort of thing. But
that doesn't mean they can read the information going through those nodes.
They get a better statistical advantage of being able to, like,
if they've got something on
they
this
get
side,
enough nodes,
if they've got something on this side close to you and then one on the other side there, then they can get info. Maybe not
it's
like
not
the
ideal.
not the actual data itself, but they can get like metadata.
The metadata.
Type
so
stuff.
they can get the metadata. And it's
but
like
that is but look, it is what it is, hey?
Yeah, I'm not saying don't panic, you know what I mean? You can still use Tor and it's all good. And it's gonna disguise you mostly. Unless you're really targeted by these people.
Yeah.
Good point. Good question, Day 43.
Bluey, last words.
I kind of just said it before. Like, check out what's happening over at Hedron. It's pretty interesting. I think there was one question while I was mentioning that, Charles. He said, "Do you think the permanent sell wall on Hedron will be an issue?" It's about a 5x in terms of price away from where we are at the moment. I looked at it last night, and it's remember it's pairing HEX and Hedron. That's the sell wall. So when the Hedron price in terms of HEX gets to a certain point, there is a big wall to get through. I'm not sure. It's stayed there the whole time. It hasn't been in range for ages. So who knows what the OA will do? And if it is there, it just means like the price can still go up in terms of US dollars. It just can't go up in terms of HEX, but also it can't be sold down when it gets into that wall as well. So you have all sorts of pluses and minuses, and I wouldn't be worried about it because it's about a 5x away from where we are now at the moment anyway.
Guys, the HEX price is just literally rocket ship right now.
That was going to be my sign out. My sign out.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. First, I'm just going to say thank you to everyone.
Tangent just rugged 43.
I'm going to say thank you to everyone in the chat. You guys are awesome. We appreciate the engagement. We appreciate your questions, and we appreciate that you show up every week and participate. It really is why we come back and do it every week. So keep it up. And the other thing is, we have had a HEX Late Show, legit 10% pump on the HEX Late Show. A 10%.
That's back to old days. We used to do that all the time. Seen many an all-time high during our late show.
Man, Hedron is super pumping. It's like gone up 34% last day.
Let's break this shit. Let's break this shit,
guys. So just from when we started the stream to now. At the very beginning of the stream, I said everything that was paired with HEX was going up with that Hart's Law thing, and they've all done it. So they're all above in the 20+% rise. Only thing that hasn't is
more.
Only thing that hasn't is Pulse Doge, but it's gone up still. So all those ones that are linked, they're all rising tide is lifting them all. So think what's going to happen when we get back into a energetic market.
And it's interesting. We have all these tokens now which are tied to the HEX price. So HEX is going to be like everything else with the Bitcoin price. HEX goes up, and all of these other things will.
Bitcoin and ETH are not pumping right now, so this is a HEX only thing, you know.
Yeah,
decorrelated.
They're bumping a bit, hey?
Can we reestablish all memes? All the memes? The decorrelation meme, the up and to the right meme, the freaking the bear market resistance meme. I want all the memes back.
I've almost.
We've always had the decorrelated meme.
Yeah,
and that's still going, and that's still just because Bitcoin and Ethereum goes down and HEX goes down at the same time doesn't mean that they're correlated.
Yeah. All right. I'll allow it. The decorrelated meme, the decorrelated meme was probably the only one that didn't get broken.
Yeah, and we still have we still like the whole pumping in the bear market. There's still that can still happen. I'm hanging on to hopium.
You're rubbing your hands like this with the wallet full of stablecoins
in the bear market, baby. Stablecoins in the bear market.
But what's he going to do with it? What's he going to do with all of that money? That's the key.
I don't know. Pay for getting the sand out of the Ferrari. I don't know. He's going to do something with it. I'm joking, of course. Hey guys, on that note, let's wind it up. Whatever he does with it, I'm sure it's good. Okay.
I
support whatever he wants to do with it. I'll make that clear.
Can I just mention one other thing? When Rackham put up a tweet saying, what should I do with $10 million? Everyone started piling in on all the suggestions. One of the most common ones was fiat on and off ramp, build a fiat on and off ramp. And I said that, and someone replied to me, this Coast, I can't remember now who.
Yeah, I've saved that actually. I did have that.
Market by HEX.
They've got it a fiat on off ramp for Pulse already set, ready to go. And it's going to be launched as soon as the chains launch. I was like,
what about a way
that's
to
pretty huge news.
A decentralized way to short HEX. A decentralized way to short HEX.
Yeah,
we need that shit.
That's going to happen on Pulse.
All right.
I disagree. I don't think we need it, and I don't see why.
No, we don't need it, but we need it if we want the price to go to the fucking moon.
The degens need it.
We need it. I'm saying we don't need it. We need it. We want it as rocket fuel.
Yeah,
that
I'm
shit
not
is
so sure.
rocket
I'm
fuel.
not so
That shit
sure.
is rocket fuel.
Man,
That shit
you'll
is
find
rocket fuel,
all-
dude.
All the haters that say, where can I
All
short
the
it, will
haters,
not
all the
have the
haters.
nuts. They will not have the nuts to short it.
Who would?
Someone will
It's
short
such a
it.
stupid bet.
Someone will short it, and then they'll get fucking wrecked. So,
Yeah.
but that we're in the Hex echo chamber, right? Like, as in the people who would be shorting are not the sort of people we normally interact with, but there will be people that will short it, and then they will give us their money. They will give the Hex community they'll basically just be gifting money to the Hex community because we'll just.
But anyone who's
collectively
holding
just
liquid
wreck
is
their
doing
shit.
that. Anyone who's holding liquid and is trying to time markets and trading is basically doing that to the stakers.
No, because people holding liquid don't get forced to buy. Like when you liquidate someone's shorts,
they're getting diluted.
You're
They're getting
forcing them to
diluted
buy
over
that
time.
shit. Like you can't force someone to buy it if they're just holding liquid
Trading
or a neutral or whatever. But if someone shorts it, you can force them into a position where they have to buy it.
You don't need to force it. You just like they panic and buy. But anyway,
No, they have
like
no, they have to buy it. They have to buy it. If you push the price, yeah,
with a short,
with a short.
All right, and on that note, let's say goodbye. Okay, this time it's for real. See you later, fellas. See you next week.